What is happening, all my medical marijuana patients, cannabis connoisseurs, and ganja growers? Casual grower here. We're going to be going over on what I use to make my compost tea. So let's start off alfalfa meal. So alfalfa meal has a PGR, which is a plant growth regulator called tricatinol. And what tricatinol does in the soil is or what it does in the plants is it helps encourage root growth. So that'll be in charge of the root zone, making sure that it has the correct hormones and make a big root ball. Blood meal. Now, blood meal has an NPK of 1200. If we look on the back, we see water soluble and water insoluble. What this means is that 1% of the nitrogen is immediately available for the plant to take up when added to water. 11% is not available and is required with microbes to be broken down in order for the plant to take it up. So we're using this because we have so much nitrogen that is immediately available for the plant. That's what we add it for. Give it a little bit of extra nitrogen boost, especially since we're in a couple weeks left of veg. Seabird guano. Seabird guano is high in phosphorus and it's used for ATP, ammonium triphosphate. My plant's a little bit low in phosphorus. You can tell because stems tend to get red, and then you'll see a little bit of a browning around the main leaf, but it's not necessarily spots. It's a big old lump. So we had a little bit of phosphorus deficiency, so that's why we're adding it. Green sand. Green sand comes from glacier rocks, and these add silica to the plant. So this is just an organic and easy way to add silica. We'll do about a quarter cup, maybe less than a quarter cup of green sand. And then of the seabird guano, we'll do about a quarter cup. Same thing with the blood meal, quarter cup. Oyster shell. Oyster shell contains 35% calcium, and calcium is necessary for the respiratory portion of the plant. In order for the plant to transpire, to allow water to come out from the stoma of the leaves and allow the plant to essentially sweat, it needs calcium. As well as, depending on the stalks, whether or not they're thick or tiny, calcium is a main factor in creating the stalks of the plant. Neem seed meal. So most growers all know neem oil. Neem oil is used to help control pests like spider mites, aphids, fungus gnats. It messes with the respiratory system of the plant because neem seed has a substance called azadirachtin, and what it does is it stops the respiratory system of the plant, or the respiratory system of the insect, and it also prevents them from getting hungry. So they'll essentially not be able to move nor starve, nor they will be able to eat, so they will starve. Azomite. Azomite contains trace minerals like iron, manganese, molybdenum, and they're not necessarily needed, a lot of them. So we're probably going to do a quarter cup, if not less than a quarter cup. But your azomite will last you a long time, especially if you make a super soil. You don't need that much to make a super soil. So this little box will last a while. Kelp meal. Kelp meal has another PGR that's good for organic growth or organic growing. It's called cytokinins. Now, what cytokinins are is they're responsible for the cell division of the plant. When we add kelp meal as well as our alfalfa meal, what ends up happening, they're able to make more ATP and ADP for the plant. So they're actually able to work better with each other than separate. Humic acids. Now, when you're composting, you make this brown, black layer of humus. What humus is decomposed organic material, which could be animal bones, dead animals, dead plants, anything that is organic, and makes a humus layer. then it turns into humic acid over time. Humic acid themselves have a negative charge to them. So what will end up happening is the humic acid will be in the soil, get that negative charge, and trace elements like iron, manganese, they'll be attracted to the humic acid. The plant itself will be attracted to the humic acid with the added elements, and it'll actually be able to help with the uptake of those nutrients. Worm castings. Worm castings are important because they add the protozoa, which is essential for living organics, because what protozoa does is they'll go and they'll start eating the bacteria. In order for all this to be taken up by the plant, the bacteria either have to die or they have to be eaten by protozoa. And then the protozoa then themselves will squirt out an enzyme that the plant will take up. So either protozoa have to eat the bacteria and they poop out enzymes for the plant, or the bacteria die and over time they decompose and produce enzymes. So we're adding worm castings to help with a living organic soil, make it a true living organic. Now, rock phosphate. Rock phosphate is essential phosphorus, ATP. It has an NPK of 0.30, so this will be able to add extra phosphorus to our plants, as well as B vitamins and other minerals. B vitamins is important because we even take B vitamins, B6, B12 for our immune system. So this will be able to help with the plant to fight off bad pathogens. And then other than that, we'll use cheese bags, put them in. Worm castings, half cup. Humic acid, half cup. Kelp, we'll use a quarter cup. Rock phosphate, we'll use a quarter cup. And then last but not least, NPK cane molasses. Now, in order to jumpstart all the beneficial microbes to start eating the food, they need something called sugar. They specifically prefer simple sugars, maple syrup, honey, unsulfured molasses. So this is to speed up the microbes multiplying, creating a colony, and then afterwards they'll start able to eat up all their nutrients. So with this one, for 5 gallons, we're probably going to use an eighth to less than quarter of a cup. But that's just a rough overview on everything that we're going to be doing for our compost tea. Whether or not we add the full seabird guano, I might do an eighth, since we're also adding the rock phosphate and this is higher in phosphorus. I might do an eighth, and I might just do an eighth. So that's everything that we have here. Oh, how could I forget? Bokashi. So bokashi, we use bokashi because it has bacteria. Doesn't necessarily have fungi, but it has bacteria. It has 3 different types of bacteria that we add to the soil, and it's able to help break down even more of the nutrients with the help of microbes. So yeah, 9 minutes long. Sorry this was a long video, but this is everything that we're going to be doing for our compost tea. All right, y'all. Until next time, stay kind, stay lit, stay medicated. Growers love and peace.